There is a cord hanging in roughly 100 million American homes right now. It costs a few cents to make. It has been connected to the deaths of at least 456 children since 1973. And the ones already installed today in homes just like yours are not required to come down. This is the story of window blind cords, what they do, why they stayed, and what it actually took to move an entire industry. Most people who own horizontal blinds have no idea two separate cord systems run through them. The first one is visible. It hangs on the side. Before 1996, two cords joined at the bottom into a single loop, wide enough for a child's head. After 1996, the industry replaced the loop with a breakaway tassel. Problem solved, they said. The second cord runs through the slats. It is hidden. You cannot see it. When the blind is fully down, a child can reach between two slats, pull the cord outward, and create a loop large enough to close around their neck. A parent could tie the visible cord to the wall, scan the room, feel safe, walk out, and have no idea the second one exists. No tools are required to access it. No mistake is required to find it. It is part of the product, standard construction. Every horizontal blind sold before November 2000 has it. 2 kilograms, 4.5 pounds. That is all it takes to close the vein that drains blood from the brain. A toddler weighs 10 times that. 15 seconds to lose consciousness. 2 to 3 minutes to die. No sound. The airway closes. The child cannot cry. A parent in the next room hears nothing. Not a gasp. Not a word. Just the ordinary sounds of a house in the afternoon. Full suspension is not required. A child who slips from a crib rail, a chair, a windowsill, the partial weight of their own small body is enough. Their feet may still be touching the floor. In 85% of documented cases, at least one parent was home. 93% of the children were 3 years old or younger. 3 years old or younger. The Consumer Product Safety Commission, CPSC, begins counting. By 1981, 41 children are on record. The agency uses the word insidious. A warning label follows in 1985. By 1994, the number was at least 181. The industry responded with a voluntary agreement. New tassels, free safety kits sent in the mail. Problem solved, they said again. Then a study found that nearly half of all deaths were never reported to the CPSC at all. The real count from 1981 to 1995 was likely closer to 359. The deaths continued. 22 days. Early 2014. 4 children. A 6-year-old in Maryland, a 3-year-old in Texas, a 4-year-old in Georgia, a 2-year-old in Maryland. That year, a coalition of consumer groups filed a formal petition demanding mandatory rules. The CPSC granted the petition. The verified death toll at that moment was 379 children. What followed was nearly a decade of process. A voluntary standard takes effect for retail blinds. Home Depot, Lowe's, and Walmart stopped selling corded stock blinds. IKEA had already pulled them in 2015. Custom blinds, the kind ordered through designers and contractors, stay untouched. November 2022. The CPSC voted 4-0 to extend mandatory rules to custom products. 3 weeks later, the industry filed a federal lawsuit. A court stayed the rule. September 2023, the DC Circuit vacated it entirely, on procedural grounds. A revised voluntary standard took effect in June 2024. No mandatory federal rule for custom window coverings exists today. The CPSC recalls corded blinds still being sold on Amazon and Walmart.com, mostly from overseas manufacturers arriving through the gap. Hundreds of millions of corded blinds are still hanging in American homes. Their lifespan is 8 to 15 years. There is no legal requirement to replace them, and no program to help. The industry's free retrofit kit program has been suspended. The website now says, use cordless products. 9 children under 5 still die from this each year, according to CPSC estimates. The cordless fix is a spring mechanism in the head rail. No exposed cord. It has existed since the early 2000s. It would cost $5 to $20 more per window. Elsie Mahey was 3 years old. She died in Utah in November 2016. In the trial that followed, her family's attorneys argued that a 14-cent cord cleat could have saved her. The jury awarded $25 million. The blinds in her room carried warning labels dated 1985. They were sold in 2008. The cord is still in the window. 456 children, 50 years. The cordless fix existed the whole time. What I keep coming back to is this. At some point, someone did the math. They weighed the cost of changing the product against the cost of not changing it. And for a very long time, the answer stayed the same. That is not an accusation. It is just a question worth sitting with. There are details hiding in the ordinary things around you, in the products you trust, in the systems you never think to question. Some of those details are fascinating. Some of them quietly shaped history. And some of them, like this one, were sitting in plain sight for 50 years. This channel exists to find them. The next one is already there. You just have not seen it yet.